They are given some weight parity over the A-mods, with the minimum weight with driver being 2,300 pounds. And as a defending champion is the 96 car of Rick Bell. So as the West Coast Waste Pro Modified B mods start to form up, we have on pole the 62 of Rob Wright. Outside of him is the 8 of Brendan McKeague. Rick Bell in the 96 out of 3. Graham Mitchell out of 4. Craig Watkins, the current leader, out of 5. And the rookie Dylan Prince in the 97 off the back of the bus. So as you can see, the number 8 B mod has a for sale sticker on the side of it. So if you want to learn more about the B mods and that car in particular, don't be afraid to head down to the pits and have a chat with Keggy. And I'm sure he'll help you out in all the information you need to know about that car, the division, and more importantly, what it's going to take it off his hands. So as the trade hire pay chute pulls off, we'll have Rob Wright and Brendan McKeague lead the field to the green for the first heat race of the West Coast Waste B mods. And we're green. So a great start there from Brendan McKeague and Graham Mitchell. Rob Wright's holding his line there from Rick Bell. Rick Bell's all over the back bumper of that 62, with Craig Watkins ready to pounce as well. With the rookie Dylan Prince showing that he's getting a handle of his new car pretty quickly. But out the front, it's Brendan McKeague in the 8. Opening up a little bit of a gap now on the number 6 of Graham Mitchell. Craig Watkins has gotten past Rick Bell and he's poking the nose up the inside at the moment with Rob Wright. The small amount of contact there has put Rob Wright around, so that'll bring out the yellows. So as Keggy leads him down the back straight, and Brendan McKeague, Graham Mitchell, Rob Wright, Rick Bell, Craig Watkins and Dylan Prince. As Brendan McKeague drops the hammer early, catching Graham off guard a little bit. But all cars safely navigated 1 and 2. And Brendan McKeague comes around to complete another circulation from Graham Mitchell, Rob Wright, Rick Bell and Craig Watkins, followed by Dylan Prince. So Brendan McKeague just can't seem to shake the number 6 of Graham Bell, but they're opening a bit of a gap now to the battle for third, currently between Rob Wright and Rick Bell. Looks like Rick Bell's got a great run down there through turn 2 onto the back straight. We'll see if Craig Watkins has tried to follow, but unfortunately couldn't. The belly's washed up a little bit, opening the door back for Righty. Craig Watkins is around the outside. Let's see if he can make that hold, which he does. Yeah, he sets his side on the back end of the 96. But Graham Mitchell's also closed the gap on our race leader at the moment, and Brendan McKeague. So Craig Watkins is showing the nose there to Rick Bell. So is it what? Yeah. So Brendan McKeague greets the white flag. And Craig Watkins getting around Rick Bell, so Brendan McKeague's coming around to agree the checkered now to take heat one, followed by Graham Mitchell, Craig Watkins in third, Rick Bell in fourth, Robert Wright in fifth, with Dylan Prince rounding out the field in heat one of the B mods.
Gearing up for a start here, going down the back straight. Slow and steady to the line. And we're green. Brad Ludlow making the best of that start right around the outside of Trevor Johnson coming out of turn two, with Ben Ludlow under Brad Wright in third place. Trevor Johnson finds himself in second there comfortably, with Ben having a very good look up the inside of Trev. Unfortunately couldn't make it stick. A little bit of smoke coming out of the 9 car. 39 car Phil Zuderman looks to the inside of Brad Wright, the 46, and makes it stick, with Brad Wright having slight handling issues going into turn one. Car 9 looks to the outside of the 95 car and Trevor Johnson. A little bit of smoke coming out of the tail of the 9 car. Meanwhile, Brad Ludlow takes a demanding lead, heading down the back straight, with Trevor Johnson coming out of turn two. Phil Zuderman making a little bit of a mistake there coming into turn three, with Brad Wright right on his tail. Luke Madeljan rounding out the field as Brad skips away with the lead here in heat one of the West Coast Ways Pro Modifieds. Out of turn four with another lap in the book. Trevor Johnson trying to make up ground for Brad Ludlow. Ben Ludlow once again looks up the inside of Trevor Johnson. Ooh, there's a little bit more smoke coming out of the 9 car. 39 has a bit of a moment coming out of turn 2. 14 gets underneath of Luke Madeljan. As Brad Ludlow extends his lead, heading down the back straight. Trevor Johnson balks coming out of 2. Allows Ben to make up a little bit more ground. Another lap in the book for Brad Ludlow. Winning this heat quite convincingly over Trevor Johnson. Ben Ludlow, Brad Wright, Luke Madeljan and Phil Zuderman rounding out the field. White flag for the WA1 of Brad Ludlow. One more circulation around the Trade Hire Augusta Margaret River Speedway. Second place, car 95, Trevor Johnson, with Ben Ludlow on his tail. 46 of Brad Wright. Luke Madeljan in the 14, getting the hang of things. And the Pro Modifieds coming from Super 6s and Super Sedans. Brad Ludlow takes your Heat 1 for West Coast Waste Pro Modifieds. Followed by Trevor Johnson, Ben Ludlow, Brad Wright in the 46 car. 14 of Luke Madeljan and 39 of Phil Zuderman. Fantastic race there from the West Coast Waste Pro Modifieds. Congratulations to Brad Ludlow. Awesome way to start off his night in the WA1. Alrighty, as they form up for a start next time round. Car number 62, Rob Wright, will start from pole position. On his outside will be Rick Bell, immaculately presented number 96. Previous state champion, I'm led to believe, in B-Mods. Followed by Craig Watkins in the 61. Graham Mitchell on his outside in the 6 car. As well as Brendan McKee at the tail of the field. That car for sale also if anyone in the crowd is looking to get into the sport. Just make sure you get in touch with Brendan McKee. Good division to be a part of, the B-Mods, and also just the Pro Modifieds in general. Great bunch of people, and Brad Ludlow, the president, very, very good leader. So, coming to the green, the 96 car gets the better at the start on the outside. As the 62 misses the start completely. Bell coming out of turn 2. Wouldn't be surprised if stewards pull this one up for a restart. No, we're staying green. Car number 6 and Graham Mitchell right up on the back end of the 96 car of Bell. With Brendan McKee, 3rd place. Looking to pounce on the 2 leaders competition. Watkins in the 61 looking to do the same thing. Can't quite get the traction on the ground. 6 car up underneath Bell. Can't make the pass stick. McKee right up in the wheat crop. Looking to get around the outside. Mitchell holding on to the 2nd place there. Rick Bell leading convincingly, but it's definitely got some heat happening behind him. Watkins up the inside of McKee. Can't quite make the pass stick. Dropping down low on the track on turn 4. As Mitchell slips up the inside of Rick Bell for the lead. Going into turn 1. Oh, big contact there between car 61 and 8 of Brendan McKee. Coming out of turn 2, 61 gets the better of that competition. Currently running 3rd place. Graham Mitchell leads heat race number 2 for West Coast Waste B Modified. Rick Bell in the 96 car. McKee has a big crack at turn 1 and go right around the outside of Craig Watkins. It was the original intention to pull it off. Graham Mitchell now in the lead from Rick Bell in 2nd place. Watkins in 3rd. McKee gets into the back of the 61 car. Down on the curb of the 61 car for Watkins. Away past Rick Bell in the 96. Meanwhile, Graham Mitchell skips out to a very convincing lead in heat race number 2. Oh, big contact, and 61 is in the fence. That'll bring on the red lights for Craig Watkins. Big hit for Watkins there in the 61. The 62 gets all crossed up coming out of turn 4. We are red, ladies and gentlemen. To a very convincing lead in heat race number 2. Oh, big contact, and 61 is in the fence. That'll bring on the red lights for Craig Watkins. Big hit for Watkins there. 6-1 that. Yeah, 6-1. So eventual winner of heat number 2 for B-Mods. Graham Mitchell taking the win there from car 96 of Rick Bell. Craig Watkins will take 3rd place in that heat race. Let's go back to the previous lap before the incident occurred. Very unfortunate end there to Pro Mods Heat 2, thanks to West Coast Waste. Up next, off the pole for this heat race, thanks to West Coast Waste. Ben Ludlow on his outside. Trevor Johnson will slip up into position 3 alongside Brad Ludlow there, and Luke Madeljan and Phil Zuderman will round out the field. We're green, and Ben Ludlow makes it better at the start on the outside, going into turn 1 round the outside of Brad Wright. Brad Ludlow tries to make it stick around the 46 car. Doesn't make it happen going down the back straight. Trevor Johnson has a bit of a look up the inside of the current state champion. Ben Ludlow makes a bit of a meal of the corner entry there, coming into turn 3. Allowing that gap to open up from Brad Ludlow underneath of Brad Wright. Trev Johnson just waiting patiently there for that gap to open up. Brad Ludlow underneath the 46 car, Brad Wright. Chasing down his father. Oh, and the 9 car virtually stops halfway through turns 3 and 4. Not quite enough time there for Brad Ludlow to get past the 9 car. Going back then to 46. Trevor Johnson has a look up the inside. Going into turn 3. 46 shuts the door. Another look under the inside. Brad Wright. Wright shuts the door on Johnson once again. Madeljan's there, having a bit of a look for another position. Zuderman rounds out the tail of the field. Brad Ludlow looking underneath the 9 car of Ben again. A few handling issues there by the look of the 9 car. Trevor Johnson underneath the 46 car of Brad Wright, coming down the back straight. Brad Ludlow again gets balked by the 9 car in front. Just looking to make that pass stick. Trevor Johnson goes underneath the 46 car of Brad Wright into turn 1. So does Luke Madeljan. The door's open there. Brad doesn't shut it. Gets past the 46. Now into third place now, Trev Johnson. Oh, makes a mistake, does Madeljan, and falls all the way back to the tail of the field. And both Brad Wright to get in underneath him. Madeljan now finds himself at the tail of the field again, makes another pass, gets back under. Meanwhile, out in front, Ben Ludlow. Bounces off the concrete wall, if you don't mind, with Brad Ludlow looking to get underneath him once again. It's been a race of this for the last 6 laps. Trev Johnson there in third place, watching it all unfold in front of him. The 9 car's virtually come to a stop again, as the 1 car looks to get up. Trevor Johnson almost loses the model coming out of turn 4. Zuderman around the outside. Just steals the 3rd place there from Trevor Johnson, the 39 car of Phil Zuderman. I've just been informed that the 35 car at the rear of the field, being an A-mod, is having some internal engine issues, so he's opted to start from the rear of the field in case those ailing engine problems persist. All ready for a start. Chief Steward's happy. Peter Griffiths here joining us tonight as the Chief Steward for the Pro Modifieds. So all Ludlow front row with Trevor Johnson and Brad Wright behind them. Luke Madeljan and Phil Zuderman in your A-mod group. We're green. Brad Ludlow gets the better of the start, quickly followed by Ben. Trevor Johnson looks up the inside of Brad Wright as well as Luke Madeljan. Phil Zuderman's been spat out just about to the rear of the A-mod field. Madeljan gets under Wright for position 4. Meanwhile, Brad Ludlow skips away with the lead with Ben Ludlow trying to make up ground as fast as he can. Meanwhile, look who's on the scene. It's Luke Madeljan in the ex-Joe Godsey Ludlow-owned car 14. Up onto the podium in the early stages of this feature race. Zuderman there, as well as Trevor Johnson just behind him. Ben Ludlow in the 9 car holding on to the 2nd position. Madeljan gets a quick look through from behind from Trevor Johnson. Thought the gap was there, but the door got shut. Zuderman as well as Wright. Back to Graham Mitchell in the B-mods. Matt Bosveld seems to have found some ponies in the 35, and it's not giving him any grief just yet. 96 in Rick Bell, the 97 of Dylan Prince, as well as the 62 car of Rob Wright. Meanwhile, back to the front of the field, Brad Ludlow has pulled himself away a hefty little lead as Luke Madeljan looks to go underneath of Ben Ludlow. Next mistake he makes, he's right there on his back door. Tries to grab a little bit of the curb to get past, and the door gets shut. 95 off Trevor Johnson's watching it all unfold in front of him, as well as Phil Zuderman. He's waiting for a mistake from Trev to dive underneath him. Meanwhile, Brad Ludlow's looking to put the 62 car of Rob Wright a lap down very early in this feature race. Brent Ludlow following on long behind, about a straightaway behind, and Zuderman's on the infield. They're coming together with Trevor Johnson and Brad Wright coming out of turn 4 there. Zuderman makes a bit of the pass and gets along the 46. 35 of Matt Bosveld's finding some ground now as Brad Ludlow looks to go under Dylan Prince and Rick Bell in the B-mods. Ben Ludlow slowly gaining on the 62 of Rob Wright to put him a lap down in his books too. Luke Mettlegen still knocking on his back door, waiting for that mistake to happen. Brad Ludlow clears traffic and he's into some clean air. Benner's got a lot of traffic to deal with in front of him. We've got a yellow light on the back straight with Phil Zuderman spun, and can't see who the other car is there. Both Ludlows off the front, followed by Luke Mettlegen, rookie in the Pro Modifieds. His first meeting with this group. Looking to get involved in the sport after being involved with Super Sedans and Super Sixes for the last few seasons. Good to see drivers spreading their wings and giving other things a go. Righto, go green this time round. Brad Ludlow will lead him away from Ben Ludlow, Luke Mettlegen and Brad Wright. Matt Bosveld's worked his way through the field. And we're green. Brad Ludlow splits the scene very quickly from Ben Ludlow. He's pulled about 7 car length gap already at the start of this restart of this race, as well as Luke Mettlegen still sitting there in 3rd place, waiting for that mistake to happen from Ben Ludlow. 46 of Brad Wright's also knocking on his back door, as well as Matt Bosveld's also all of a sudden come onto the scene. Followed by the 6 car of Graham Mitchell in the B-mods, sniffing around at the back of the A-mods. He's doing very, very well with an underpowered vehicle. Meanwhile, out in front, the WA1 car of Brad Ludlow, looking silky smooth here at the Trade Hire Augusta Margaret River Speedway. Ben Ludlow in 2nd place still. Graham Mitchell has a bit of a moment there coming out of turn 4. Trevor Johnson has also been put to the rear of the field at that last stoppage for causing a yellow light as Brad Ludlow comes out of turn 4. Ben Ludlow about a straightaway behind him, followed by Luke Mettlegen, Brad Wright and Matt Bosveld. Bosveld's car seeming to be all right now for him, not giving him too many issues. Trevor Johnson working his way back through the B modified field. Graham Mitchell only now to worry about in front of him. Rick Bell is done. He's got away with him very, very easily. Brad Ludlow looks on the back of the 62 car of Rob Wright, putting him another lap down in this feature race. Ben Ludlow a fair way back now as Brad Ludlow comes back out of turn 4 once again. The 97 car next victim on his agenda to put a lap down, as well as Rick Bell just in front of him. Dives to the underneath of the 97 car, and we've had an incident in turn 4. Looks as if Mettlegen's been put to the rear for causing a stoppage there. We're flashing yellows. We'll go next time round. So Brad Wright has indeed found himself from 5th place up to 2nd now. Straight onto the podium in one incident. How things can change in a feature race. 35 of Matt Bosveld, starting at the very tail of the field to begin with, now finds himself in 3rd place. And we're green. Ludlow leads them away. Brad Wright, Matt Bosveld, Graham Mitchell in the B-mod with Trev Johnson hot on his heels. Rick Bell as well also in there. Brad Ludlow's already given himself a little bit of a lead. It's a hefty gap there between himself and Brad Wright. Matt Bosveld also looking at the backside of Brad Wright with Graham Mitchell in the B-mod. Poking his nose in there in 4th place. Might be looking at a podium in a B-mod. Gallant effort in an underpowered car. 95, Trevor Johnson is looking for a way past him though. Might not have it all his own way. Meanwhile, coming out of turn 4, Brad Ludlow leading your feature race. Brad Wright, 2nd place, Matt Bosveld in 3rd. Trevor Johnson has a look up the inside of Graham Mitchell. And again, I don't think the room will be there. The door's probably going to get shut coming out of turn 2. But Trev makes it stick. Pokes the nose in there and outpowers him down the back straight. Beautiful pass there by Trevor Johnson out of Calabaron. Puts Graham Mitchell back to 5th place. Trev now finds himself in 4th. Matt Bosveld 3rd. Graham Mitchell in 5th. Bell in 6th, Prince in the 97 car, and the field rounded out by Rob Wright in the 62 B-mod. Brad Ludlow in control of this feature race right from the get-go. Brad Wright still there in second. Matt Boswell within striking range to better himself on the podium. Trev Johnson in fourth. Graham Mitchell, the first of your B mods. Followed by Rick Bell and Dylan Prince. Brad Ludlow looks to go under the side of Dylan Prince there and put him another lap down. Next in his sights is Rick Bell, as Brad Wright and Matt Bosveld are now battling out for second and third position on the track. Still some lap traffic just ahead of them in their sights. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out for these two drivers. As Brad Ludlow now gets past Rick Bell, puts him another lap down. Lap traffic now becoming an issue for Brad Wright with Matt Bosveld right there if he makes a mistake. Brad Ludlow now in some clean air. Out in front, Rick Bell and Dylan Prince in between them. Brad Wright's right there, as well as Rob Wright. Bosveld gets under Wright. Still in third place there. Still needs to get under Brad Wright for that second place position. Small lap traffic ahead of him. This is going to unfold pretty interestingly for the two of them once again. Got two of them to deal with this time. Wright walks up against the lap car a little bit. Bosveld right there with him. 96 of Rick Bell is the next victim. Wright gets underneath him, no worries at all. Bosveld's going to follow him through. Bell will try and shut the door, but he'll realise that Bosveld's right there. Ludlow takes the checkered flag. Or round one of the Pro Mod state title. An awesome race to finish for Brad Wright and Matt Bosveld. Second and third respectively. Followed by Rick Bell, Dylan Prince, Trevor Johnson in there also, and the 62 of Rob Wright. Mitchell falling back there in the later stages of that feature race. But Brad Ludlow with a very convincing win there in the feature race here at Trade Hire Augusta Margaret River Speedway. Proudly brought to you by West Coast Waste.